Don, you hear that? He says he got it.
Oh no. Since your voice is lower right now, it might feel. So distortion.
Here we go. And 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and.
Looking back on when I used to be a little juice boy. Thank you.
7 years of bad luck. The things in your past. When you believe in things you don't understand and you suffer. Superstition led the way. Hey, hey. Ooh, very superstitious. Wash your face and hands. Rid me of the problems. Do all that you can. Keep me in a daydream. Keep me going strong. You don't want to save me. Sad is my song. When you believe in things you don't understand and you suffer. Superstition led the way. Hey, hey. Superstitious, nothing more to say. Very superstitious, the devil's on his way. 13-month-old baby broke the looking glass. 7 years of bad luck. They say best. You believe in things you don't understand and you suffer. Superstition anyway. Hey, hey. Superstition anyway.
Let's just skip the vocal part. Cool. Alright, so when we get to, what's the letter where the vocals come in? D. A, B, C? We're going to skip right to F. Wait. Let me do this. Yeah. And then, yeah, so right after, right before D, right? Skip right to F. Make sense? Yeah. Cool. Here we go. Cool? Nope. Not getting anything. Nope. Here I am. Well, we're just gonna skip your part. Perfect. Yeah. Here we go. 1, just in time. 2, 1, 2, 3, and.
she's waiting there for you. There's nothing that a hungry man or more could ever do. I best rains down in Africa. 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 Gonna take some time to do the things we never heard.
Here we go, pro sesh.
Okay.
Welcome to Wilmer University's 2019 commencement ceremony.
I'll try it.
The processional is ready to begin. Please silence all cell phones and please remain seated during the processional so everyone can see. Thank you.
get enough. Keep on with the force, don't stop till you get enough. Keep on with the force, don't stop till you get enough. Keep on with the force, don't stop till you get enough. But I do know that I want you.
Walk around me down with your head up to the sky.
But I do know that I want you. Let's dance, let's shout.
Shake your body down to the ground.
Let's dance, let's shout. Shake your body down to the ground. Let's dance, let's shout. Shake your body down to the ground. Let's dance, let's shout. Shake your body down to the ground.
Please stand for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose but stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Now, Dr. Anthony Lowen, Henry M. Lowen, College of Engineering Dean.
That's an unfortunate sound. It's not going to go away, I guess? Very good. So good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Henry M. Rowan College of Engineering commencement ceremony. And I want to note that this is a very special ceremony. This is our 20th engineering commencement ceremony. And as has been the tradition over the last couple of years, this is again our largest class of graduates. Over 300 engineers going out today. So as we start, I'd first like to introduce our special guests. Please hold your applause until I introduce the visitors and our guests. So I'd first like to introduce our president, Dr. Ali Hushman. Representing the Rowan University Board of Trustees, Ms. Lida Abel. I guess I didn't follow my own instructions, so. But it's our ceremony, so we can do what we want, right? Representing the Board of Trustees, Ms. Virginia Rowan Smith. Our distinguished guests, Ms. Bridget Hempler, our Medal of Excellence recipient and also class of 2012. Dr. Jennifer Cadwick, our Grand Marshal. And Dr. Cheryl Bodner, our Gonfalonier. And I also want to introduce with us today members of our President's Cabinet, our deans, college advisory board members, faculty, and other senior members of the administration. So going through the introductions too, it's important that we recognize folks who got all of you here today. So I'm going to ask our students, please rise. Last time I'm going to ask you to do anything. And turn back and face the group of people who supported you, got you here, your family, your friends, your loved ones, and thank them for all the support. And then now turn around, one more instruction. And can our faculty and staff please stand and rise? And let's thank this amazing group of faculty that was here for you every step along the way. And last, I want to recognize someone who obviously cannot be here today, but is with us in spirit. And we've hold a seat for him at the end here, and it's Mr. Henry Rowan, who's, if you think about what an amazing vision this man had, an investment he made to have such an amazing College of Engineering. And he wanted great engineers, and today, amazing, we're putting out over 300 amazing engineers, great engineers. And you all should be very, very proud. And let's thank the man who got us all here today. And I also want to now bring up the man who got us all here today, the man who had the dream to say, hey, let's take this from a small, outstanding College of Engineering and let's expand what we're doing, let's make it great and even better. And the man behind getting us to 300 students, outstanding students and outstanding faculty, Dr. Ali Hushman.
Good morning, everyone. They say that engineers rule the world, don't they? In fact, I think the engineers this morning ruled the universe. I don't know what happened. I think the electrical engineers provided the spark and the chemical engineers, all the chemical processes, and suddenly rain and cloud disappeared. And look at this beautiful thing. Only you guys can do that, because for Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday, we were out of luck, unfortunately. We have all come here to celebrate the impressive accomplishment. Oh, by the way, you guys are standing. Why? It's your dean's fault. He forgot his not my fault. I'm sorry. Because he's going to make you stand up and sit down. You're going to get about 5,000 steps today. We have all come here to celebrate the impressive accomplishments of our 2019 graduates and to recognize the great effort it took for them to earn their degrees. Indeed, really getting an engineering degree takes tremendous amount of dedication and hard work and brilliance. Graduates and a loved one, you have anticipated this day for years, in some cases, some of you, since you were a child. Maybe with difficulties and distractions, but here we are today, ready to send you back to the real world and to start a new chapter in life. You are a rare generation, by the way, that will create your own industry and your own economy and work in it. Because by the time most of you undergraduates are 30, more than 50% of the jobs that we are familiar with are going to be gone. You're going to create the jobs. You're going to create the industry. So I'm so delighted there are so many of you, and I look forward to many, many more, because every single one of you are going to really change this country for the better. As president and as a father, it brings me great joy to see families and friends celebrate today's graduates. I wish you all a long, prosperous, and productive life. May today be the start of many more accomplishments for each and every one of you. In the word of the great man, our dear friend Henry M. Rowan, make this world a better place because you live in it. Congratulations to all of you.
I'm going back to the part of my script where I'm supposed to tell you to please be seated. So just getting that read. So since 2015, we have awarded Medals of Excellence that honor worthy individuals in one of three categories: distinguished service, research, and alumni achievement. As a dean of this college, it's always great to see the accomplishments of the students. It gives us a sense of pride to see how well our alums are doing upon graduation. And having the chance to give out this medal is really a true honor to see this excellence. So I have my remarks about Bridget that I'd like to read about her accomplishments, but I want to go back to give my perspective, my personal perspective of when I met her first when I joined Rowan. I joined in January of 2013, so a little over 6 years ago. And I kept hearing about this wonderful student. I didn't know if she was a student or alum of the chemical engineering department. And I assumed she was a student because I saw her so much in the hallways, at events, pretty much everything the College of Engineering did. And it was finally at, I think, a commencement ceremony that I realized that she was an alum. And it was really tremendous to come in and find somebody who's so passionate, that gave back so much to her college and believed so much in what we were doing that she was here every day. And I think that's really, as I get into my remarks about her, what she's accomplished, one of the things that's made her such a special alum and someone so worthy of this award. So with her bio, since leaving Rowan, she's been bridging the gaps between fuels and lubricants technology and marketplace reality at ExxonMobil. Bridget connects cutting-edge research to the consumer experience, improving the lives of drivers around the world. A proud Clearview Regional High School and Henry M. Rowan College of Engineering alumna, she graduated in May of 2012, having earned the Irene Elizabeth Tracy Award for Excellence in Engineering and the Clarence Slater Award for Excellence in Chemical Engineering. During her time at Rowan, Bridget was a member of the engineering community, very conspicuous, and continued to be for quite a long time. She served as the president of EWB, Tau Beta Pi, treasurer of the Society of Women Engineers, and she also held on-campus jobs in alumni relations, university development, and the peer referral and orientation staff pros. Upon graduating, Bridget launched her engineering career as a heavy-duty diesel engineer formulator at ExxonMobil in Paulsboro, and subsequently worked on fuels, differentiation, and employee recruiting. And I can say I had the doors for this college opened up so many times at ExxonMobil to find jobs and internships for future alums, thanks to Bridget's hard work. Bridget's now responsible for commercial vehicle lubricant deployment in the United States and Mexico, a position she was promoted to while completing her MBA at another school that begins with an R in southern New Jersey. Is that okay? Is that good enough? Bridget, are you okay with that?
That's fine.
Good. Now a resident of Houston, Texas, Bridget met her husband, Captain Eric Alexander Hempler, an Apache pilot and company commander who served our nation in Afghanistan and at Fort Polk during his final year at the U.S. Military Academy and her final year at Rowan. Inspired by her career path and experience as an Army spouse, Bridget continues her volunteers' efforts, encouraging young women to pursue fulfilling careers in science, technology, engineering, and math, and advocating for military families on the national level. For her efforts, Bridget received the Chapel of Four Chaplains Legion of Honor Award in May 2018. Now, all of her biography, professional, academic, and personal accomplishments tell us without question that she is deserving of this recognition. But this is where I want to go back to my personal note, is that I think as alums, see someone, you're now alums, someone that I hope to see many of you follow in the footprint. Not the exact path, but following your passions, continuing to give back to our profession and our community. As engineers, we have so much to offer, and it's with great pride that we take in our alumnus that we get to give this award. So we're so proud to claim her as an alumnus. We're grateful that such a remarkable, great engineer calls Rowan University and the Henry M. Rowan College of Engineering her home. For all this and so much more, I'm proud to present the 2019 Henry M. Rowan College of Engineering Medal of Excellence in Alumni Achievement to Ms. Bridget Bergen-Hempler.
Thank you, Dr. Lohman, and thank you to the esteemed faculty, proud parents, devoted family and friends, and a very special thank you to the exhausted, enviable Henry M. Rowan College of Engineering class of 2019. Woohoo! I am privileged to be here at graduation today with all of you, and I'm especially privileged as a now Houston person to be here in New Jersey, where I could start my day with a delicious cup of Wawa coffee, and if absolutely necessary, let somebody else pump my gas. All joking aside, I'm not here to tell you the story of my morning. In fact, I'm not even going to tell you my story. Instead, I'm going to tell you two stories of choices that I've made. Because the stories we choose to live and to share with the people we love overwhelmingly shape who we become. Do you need a quick example? Think back on the stories that you chose to tell on first dates, at job interviews, at holiday dinner tables. Did you reveal all the juicy details of your time at Rowan outside of the classroom? I don't think so, because I went here, Rowan, and I know that engineers work hard, play hard. My first story on the power of choosing starts with my dad, that handsome devil over in the corner with a big old smile. My dad graduated from Glassboro State College in 1982 and Rowan University in 2002. So since birth, Rowan has been part of my life. From weeknights at TNT swimming with our beloved Tony Lisa, and Saturday mornings at Smart Art, and homecomings in October for as long as I can remember, Rowan has been part of my life, and my dad has shared it with me. So by the time I was a senior in high school, I thought I knew so much about Rowan. I applied to engineering programs all over the Northeast, and I honestly didn't think that Rowan was going to be the school for me. I had a great GPA, I led a few clubs, I was a varsity athlete, musical theater nerd. I thought that I would get scholarships to go anywhere I wanted for college. You can imagine my shock when of the 7 engineering programs I was accepted to, Rowan was the only program that I could actually afford. And I was mad at first. I felt deceived. There was this pissed off little voice in my head saying, didn't I do everything right? Didn't I deserve to go to some Ivy League and rub elbows with a bunch of rich kids? Do you know what that was? That pissed off little voice was a stupid comparison trap. That was the world trying to force my expectations in this teeny tiny little engineering mold and send me somewhere that my life wasn't putting me. My life wanted me to spend 4 incredible years at Rowan University. And my life wanted me to lean into my college choice, to flow and to embrace the opportunity that an incredibly generous man I didn't even know laid out in front of me. So I chose to be happy at Rowan, and that made all the difference. I'm so incredibly grateful for the time that I made giant hoagies with Marv Harris, and the time that I stayed up late with classmates drawing and redrawing the chemical reactions to make vitamin C, and the time we made paper hats out of the wit and more than the class because material science at night was kind of rough. When I think about my parents and those 18 years of effort they put into making me a curious, confident young woman, and the incredible life that Glassboro State prepared my dad for, and Rowan prepared me for. I'm beyond grateful that my parents helped me shut down that comparison trap and happily choose to love studying chemical engineering here at Rowan. My second story on the power of choosing starts with my husband, that other handsome devil that would be over in the corner with a big smile if it weren't for his obligations to the US Army. I met my husband, Eric, a West Point engineering management major, our senior year of college at the Tau Beta Pi National Convention. Now, because you guys are an engineering audience, I can say Tau Beta Pi by name, and you actually know what I'm talking about. But usually when folks ask how we met, I just say, at a nerd convention. At the time, Eric had already requested Army aviation, and I had already accepted my ExxonMobil job offer. So we started dating by driving back and forth between New York and New Jersey. And before I knew it, I was flying from New Jersey to Alabama while Eric was in flight school. Over the next few years, Eric would relocate from Alabama to Tennessee, deploy to Afghanistan, return to Tennessee, move back to Alabama. Then 4 years into my career at ExxonMobil, I'd be relocated from the Paulsboro, New Jersey office to the 10,000 person campus just north of Houston. And a few months later, Eric moved to Louisiana. He now lives in Texas at Fort Hood, just 3 hours from me. Like many military couples, we broke up along the path to marriage, partially due to messaging I received that with a blossoming engineering career, I shouldn't throw away all of my hard work for the Army spouse life. Thankfully, we have some really stellar mental health resources at ExxonMobil, and I had the guts to call up and ask for a therapist. Fast forward through a few sessions, and Dr. Barber helped me realize that my heart was conflicted. Everyone around me thought that my Army beau was a little bit too rough around the edges, and the military lifestyle wasn't conducive to an engineering career. Up until this moment in my life, I had had my family and friends' full support of my choices, and I was so upset about being conflicted that I broke things off with the love of my life. And I know that Eric is the love of my life because I admire him for doing things and serving others in a way that I could never imagine. I'm so thankful that Dr. Barber helped me sift through all the expectations other people were putting on me and actively choose to follow my heart instead of the common path forward for an engineer. Oh, and by the way, everything worked out because 7 years later, I'm still totally committed to my badass career at ExxonMobil. I choose to tell you these two stories because as engineers, you will face uncertainty in the choices and relationships. Who's the next boss? Do I swipe left or swipe right? What's the next business trip? What's the next turnaround? What's the next role? What's the next relocation? I'm here to tell you that the choices won't always be easy, but you need to actively choose for yourself. Embrace the uncertainty, potential path, all the options for your life moving forward, and take the leaps of faith that feel right for you. Because you know what? If I had fallen into that comparison trap and followed somebody else's definition for what Bridget's success would look like, I wouldn't have loved my husband and myself through a 10-month deployment to Afghanistan. And I wouldn't have learned that relationships are the key to resilience. And I wouldn't have learned that publicly speaking my truth could somehow inspire others to be open and honest in the stories they choose to live and to tell. Exploring the truth of who we are and choosing the path that's right for us and only us not only makes us vulnerable, it makes us uncomfortable. When you leave here today and start post-undergraduate life, you could follow somebody else's path, make choices that make other people happy, avoid conflict, definitely avoid starting conflict. Do what's expected, copy the norm. You could stubbornly stay on path no matter what, and focus on what you think you want in that moment. Or instead, you could hop on a wild ride full of choices you own with all of your heart and all of your soul and all of the loved ones that you choose by your side. You've already proven through your undergraduate engineering success how the art of choosing defines your life. You chose to persevere when hyperactive fire alarms disrupted your work. You chose to overcome when they took away your beloved computer lab. You chose. Oh, wow, I heard about that one. You chose to form an L-Heat support group, and you chose to wake up. You chose to wake up early for volunteer events like Sea Perch, I heard y'all did. Early, so early that it's something no respectable undergrad would actually ever do. And when you chose those open and honest and respectful relationships to spend time doing those things with the people you love and who love you in return, the art of choosing doesn't exactly get easier, but it's less intimidating because your relationships will really see you through. Chasing after somebody else's success really just deters you from exploring and finding your own. So Henry M. Rowan College of Engineering class of 2019, recognize and invest in your relationships, like the one you have with yourself and the one you'll always have with Rowan Engineering. And please allow us to continue celebrating your choices. We'll marvel as you chase the moments where you discover yourself, and we'll marvel as you throw out well-established plans for an engineering career and create one that is totally uniquely you. And if you make a poor choice, or you feel like you have no choice, remember that most choices are not permanent. You can always choose your attitude, and a Rowan Engineering degree will open limitless doors for you. Nobody arrived here the same way, and it's impossible that we'll all achieve the same way. But class of 2019, without a doubt, you will choose your way to success, and you will make all of us at your alma mater, especially me, very, very proud. Congratulations.
I don't think we need to have any more discussion about the computer lab, do we? Is that all right? This week, we are graduating 57 students who have served our country as members of the United States military. They have overcome the challenges and hardships of transitioning between studies and service. We appreciate their dedication to both education and military duty. Will those students who have served please stand to be recognized? At this time, it gives me great pleasure to recognize the graduates who have excelled in their academic studies while here at Rowan. These students are graduating today with honors and fall into 3 levels of achievement. First, the students graduating cum laude have achieved a grade point average of 3.45 to 3.64. Will those students graduating cum laude please stand to be recognized? Thank you. May be seated. Students graduating magna cum laude have achieved grade point averages of 3.65 to 3.84. Will those students please stand to be recognized? Students graduating summa cum laude, the highest honor, have achieved grade point averages of 3.85 to 4.0. Will those students please stand to be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, I'd also like to recognize the Honors Concentration graduates and our Honor Society members. They are listed in your program and have been recognized at various ceremonies on campus. Will all of these graduates please stand? Thank you and congratulations on your achievements. I'd now like to introduce Vice Dean Steve Chin.
Thank you and hello. My name is Steve Chin, as Dean Lohman just mentioned, and I'm the Vice Dean of Engineering. It is my pleasure to recognize the winners of the Medallion Awards. These are students who have distinguished themselves through their excellent academic performance, character, and service to their college and department. Students, when your name is called, please stand to be recognized. The Da Vinci Medallion for Excellence in Biomedical Engineering, Daniel Maldonado Herrera. Please stand. Thank you. The Elizabeth Slater Award for Excellence in Chemical Engineering in Graduate Studies, Elise A. Barancini. Elise? The Clarence Slater Award for Excellence in Chemical Engineering, there are two recipients, Alexander P. Hesketh and Julia H. Riley. Please stand. The Ralph A. Dussault Award for Civil and Environmental Engineering, John Powell. Thank you. The C. Ernest O'Neill Award for Electrical and Computer Engineering, Tanner Smith. And last but not least, the Tirupati Chandrupala Award for Excellence in Mechanical Engineering. There are two recipients, Therese Parr and Quinn L. Rinneman. Thank you.
So it's my pleasure now to introduce the recipient of the Irene Elizabeth Tracy Award for Excellence in Engineering, Veronica Lamastra. Ronnie is a biomedical engineer and chemistry double major here at Rowan University. Since the start of her career, she's developed a profound interest in biomedical research. Her passion for research, specifically with biomaterials, grew after she started working with Eric Brewer during her junior year here. After graduation, she plans to attend Brown University for a PhD in biomedical engineering. Outside of her research, Ronnie has served as a peer tutor since her sophomore year, focusing on subjects including general chemistry, organic chemistry, biochemistry, and quantitative analysis. She also has served as a learning assistant for the chemistry and biochemistry department for the past 3 semesters. Outside of the classroom, Ronnie has a strong devotion to service and has been an active member in the National Service Fraternity Alpha Phi Omega on Rowan's campus. In this, she has served as various e-board positions since her freshman year, including treasurer, fundraising chair, and sergeant-at-arms. She's also an active member of Tau Beta Pi and Order of Omega. In the future, she hopes to go into academia and use her experience and expertise to mentor and teach students as a research professor in biomedical engineering. Let's give a warm welcome to Ronnie, recipient of the 2019 Irene Elizabeth Tracy Award for Excellence in Engineering, and our today's speaker.
Good morning, and thank you all for coming to the 2019 Engineering Commencement Ceremony. I would like to start off by thanking the Engineering Department for giving me this opportunity to speak in front of you all today, and for everyone who helped put the ceremony together. I'm not going to lie to you all. I have been dreading this day, and that sounds so weird to say out loud. So many people have been counting down the days until this very moment, and yet I've been procrastinating everything related to this day because I didn't want it to come. I'm not saying that I don't want to graduate. I'm not saying that I'm not excited for the future. And I'm not saying that I don't think I'm ready for what is to come. The real reason is that I'm terrified of the future, of the new environments I'll be in, of the new people I'll meet, of having to leave my friends and family, of having to leave what is familiar to me. I'm sure all of you can relate to that. Fear has been a trend for me in my college career. I started off my college career terrified. During my freshman orientation, when I switched into biomedical engineering from biology, I found out that I was 10 points above the minimum SAT score needed to get into the program. I had to test into Calc 1, and I got the minimum score needed to pass. I was terrified that I wasn't cut out to be an engineer, that I would fall behind so many other people around me. And as the semesters passed and I focused solely on my schoolwork, that fear started developing into a fear of missing out. I thought I was missing what it meant to be in college, what it meant to be a college student. And as I started to reflect back over the last few weeks about my experience at Rowan University, I now recognize that the cliche college experience isn't what they say it is in movies and in TV shows. The true college experience is pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. It's about meeting and exceeding all goals that you set for yourself. It's about doing things that you've never done before, and it's about doing things you never thought you would be able to do. It's about growing as a person and finding the right environment for you to thrive in. It's about doing things that absolutely terrify you and using that as fuel to motivate you. Today is such a bittersweet moment for all of us. Like many of you, I have found my home here, in different buildings and with different people, and I'm going to miss every moment of that. But today also marks a day that shows that we are all capable of doing great things in the future, no matter how afraid we are. Before I conclude, I would like to thank a number of special people who have helped me throughout my years here at Rowan. First, I would like to thank my family for believing in me, motivating me, and obviously cheering me on every step of the way. Out of my family, I want to give a special name drop to my twin sister, Brie Lamastro. Not only because she's my best friend, but because she has been by my side through everything. I would like to thank all of my friends, those who I made back in elementary school, and those who I made here, and my brothers in my fraternity Alpha Phi Omega for their endless support. And all the members of El Heat Support Group for the entertaining group chat over the years and making me feel like I had a family in the BME department. I would like to thank Dr. Lohman and Dr. Brewer for aiding me in my research and professional career, Dr. Byrne and Dr. Staley for continually pushing me in my academic career, and the entire BME faculty for being such great role models during my time in the department. To all of the graduates, I know things are changing very rapidly, and even though you might not feel it now, it's okay to be afraid. Embrace it. Use it as your fuel to do amazing things in this world. Thank you again, and congratulations to all the graduates here today.
Thank you, Ronnie, for the remarks on behalf of the class of 2019. I want to ask President Hushman, Dean of Students Richard Jones, and Civil and Environmental Engineering Department Head Kauser Jahan to please join me. So during the past year, our university family was saddened to lose two of our students. Thomas Thornton, Civil and Environmental Engineering major, and David Lynn, exploratory studies moving towards electrical and computer engineering. Both of these students passed in the last year, and could we please honor them with a moment of silence? Thank you. I would like to invite Tammy and Tom Thornton, Thomas's parents, to join us on stage to accept Thomas Thornton's diploma. So at this time, I'd like to ask all of our doctoral, master's, and bachelor students to please stand. I think that should be just about everybody. There we go. As you remember, this past Saturday, we held our campus-wide commencement here on the main campus to celebrate Rowan's master's, bachelor's, educational specialist, doctoral, and medical degree candidates. During this event, President Hushman, Provost Newell, and Mr. Chad Bruner, chair of the Rowan University Board of Trustees, officially certified our doctoral, master's, and bachelor degree candidates as having completed all the requirements for graduation. With that, our Henry M. Rowan College of Engineering graduates were conferred the Doctor of Philosophy, Master of Engineering Management, Master of Science, Bachelor of Arts, and Bachelor of Science degrees with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and obligations of those degrees. Congratulations to all. You may now be seated. Now we will proceed to the presentation of our graduates. Each of our graduates will be called individually by program, beginning with the students earning a PhD and proceeding with students with the master's and bachelor's degrees today. I would like to ask all of the family members to try to remain in the seats the best you can and not obstruct the views of others or get in the way of our students. We will be having a professional photographer taking all of the pictures, and you'll have a chance to view them and be sent home to you. Also, you're welcome to take plenty of pictures right here at the platform at the end of the ceremony, so there'll be plenty of time for photos. So I'd like to start with our graduates of the PhD in Engineering program led by Dr. Joe Stanzione. Each graduate is going to be awarded a hood by his or her dissertation chair and then a diploma cover. The hood is a symbol of entry into an elite community of scholars. I have the candidates for the Doctor of Engineering degree. First recipient, Dr. Elise Barancini. Doctoral advisor, Dr. Joe Stanzione from the Department of Chemical Engineering. Dissertation title, Bio-Based Thiolene Polymer Electrolytes. I'd like to also point out that Dr. Elise Barancini is the first recipient of a PhD in chemical engineering from Rowan. On top of that, she is also the first woman to receive a PhD in engineering from Rowan University. The next candidate, Dan Offenbacher. Doctoral advisor, Dr. Yusuf Mehta, Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering. Dissertation title, Evaluation of the Cracking Performance of Geogrid Reinforced Hot Mix Asphalt for Airfield Applications. We have to ask if we really want Dr. Mehta fixing our roads if he can't put on a doctoral hood properly. I'd like to congratulate Dr. Offenbacher as the first recipient of a PhD in the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering at Rowan University. Congratulations. We will now proceed with the graduates of the master's program, Master's in Engineering Management, presented by Dr. Stephen Chin, Graduate Coordinator.
Mark Starling, Jr. Emmanuel Stokes. Julianne Warner. David Murray, Jr. Rob Welton Jr., Darius B. Scott, Cornelius M. Middleton Jr., Harrison Hawkins, candidates for the Master of Science in Chemical Engineering, led by Graduate Coordinator Dr. Joe Stanzione, are Marilee Tapia, the candidates for the Master of Science in Civil Engineering, led by Graduate Coordinator Dr. Yusuf Mehta, are Ahmed Saidi, Matthew Peters, Seth Wagner, Ghassan Haddad, Tom Scarangella. Candidates for the Master of Science in Electrical and Computer Engineering, led by Graduate Coordinator Dr. Srikanth Mandayam, are Sunpreet Kaur, the candidates for the Master of Science in Engineering, led by Graduate Coordinator Dr. Joe Stanzione, are Brittany Butler, John Schneider, the candidates for the Master of Science in Mechanical Engineering, led by Dr. Mark Haas, Graduate Coordinator, are Brandon Bergman, Thaisa Mickle, Christian Bove, Banu Prakash Reddy Gugarilla, Ravi Patel, Paarth Mehta, Rachit Christian, Tim Choma, and now graduates from our bachelor's degree programs. The Bachelor of Science in Electrical and Computer Engineering, Alexander J. Ravolis, Nathan Solzer, Garrett Jacob, Stephen Simsack, Sam Toanone, Shawnee Thapa, Brandon Salamone, Brian Wren, Mitchell Hay, Michael Stephen Giuliano, Tyler Brady, Timothy Gordon, Jessica Nicole Wozniak, Jenna Jukis, Kevin John Miskovich, Keyshawn Patel, Thomas Z. Provencher, Christopher Ayapico, Josh Ford, Joshua Gould, Thomas Haynes, Alexander Schmalschried, Matthew Dion, Eric Jastrzemski, Glenn Dawson, Robert Page, Nicholas Klaczynski. Nicholas Ambrose. Damon Borstein. Michael Liu. Alexander David Frederick. Sean McGuire. Stephen Glass. Jacob Epifano. Maximilian Tensfeld. Sean Hastings. Brendan Nugent. Ryan Hare. Matthew Mammarelli. Lonnie Souter. Tanner Smith. Tomas Uribe. Jake Frazier. Seamus Plunkett. Nicholas Gorab. Russell Bonaco. Simon Bublis. Michael Lonetto. Joseph Foderero. Matthew Philippou.
The department head will speak before you get into the names of the next one. So just pause before doing the name.
Candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering. Dr. Ratan Jha, please step forward to present your department.
Good morning. Would all the recipients of Mechanical Engineering BS degree please step forward for presentation of diplomas? Thank you.
Shivam Patel. Melanie Ware. Troy Zirkle. Piotr Lukacek. Ryan Sweeney. Ian Misk. Robert Livingston. Joseph Egan. Caleb Jackson. Kaio Aruda.
Hey, Kaio! Yo, Kaio, fix your thing.
Michael Morano. Ian Day.
Good job, Ian.
Michael Silvestro. Brennan Appleman. Quinn Reineman. Kyle Nadio. Blake Burnett. Matthew Dietrich. Nolan LaFontaine. Melvin Roberts. Sherman Hartman. Scott Hood. Alexander Lindner. Lawrence Lentini. Jeffrey Stransky. Sean Dugan. Kevin Herbelston. Alex Withers. George Lentini. Collier Tonkin. Robert Phillips. Jamal Favrier. Jordan Cook. Timothy Sudo. Daniel Heitmuller. Quinn McHugh. Ian Hannum. Courtney Walton. Leslie Claire Meyer. Caroline Ruth Jorgensen. David Mark Kaufman. Peter Genovese. Andrew Bonoza. Kyle Schutz. Casey Smith. Joseph Durden. Rory Kronog. Edwin J. Hicks IV. Lucas Cinto. William Ward. Christopher Fest. Benjamin Golden. Brennan Thiemann. Bo William R. Gilligan. Therese Parr. Christopher Conti Napoleon. Stephen Graham. Philip Chester Wall. Morgan Dean. Jeremy Rainey. Navroop Kaur. Robert Smith. Dakota Pierce. Jack Fullerton. Christopher Devone. Nicholas Palmer. Eric Zapfi. Christopher Fritsch. Kevin Wickstead. Devin Connolly. Mark Magoon. Stephen Nichols. Robert Frank. Matthew Boddy. Candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Construction Management. Dr. Stephen Chin, Vice Dean, please step forward to present your department.
It is my pleasure to invite the recipients of the degree Bachelor of Arts in Construction Management to come to the platform to be recognized.
Trevor Alfonso. Dominic Colameco. Jeremiah Ryan Kaysen. Israel Maldonado. Candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. Dr. Kauser Jahan, Department Head, please step forward to present your department.
Happiness and sorrow go hand in hand. It is with deep sadness I remember my beloved advisee Tom Thornton, gone too soon, never to be forgotten. Thornton family members, we share your grief and sorrow at this profound loss. Tom, who had a tremendous love for nature, would like his friends and peers to know this today. As you commence a new chapter as global citizens building exciting smart cities, assure us that you will make water, not war, build bridges near and far, protect, not pollute, seek justice and truth. Because we at CEE are all about TLC, teamwork, leadership, community. Graduates, serve your community with compassion, kindness, and humility. Now the moment we've all been waiting for. Will the extremely resilient, high-stress bearing CEE class of 2019 graduates who are set to show that their passion for civil engineering is concrete, please come to the platform to be recognized. Will the highly overworked, supercharged, dedicated civil and environmental engineering faculty join me at the platform to greet and congratulate our graduates?
Jason Leffler. Gabriela Aiello. Olivia Kononiuk. Nicholas Ripman. Aiden Rogers. Eduardo Garcia. Mackenzie Carr. Tony Carlino. John Tucker Simmons. Sawyer Napoli. Kyle Houskey. Jacob Fries. Jason Roberts. Paul Kowaleski. Nicholas Forrester. Michael Correa. John Paul Anderson. Jason DeMuro. John Powell. Sean Pearsall. Kevin Tress. Bernie Bogus. Patrick Fritz. Christopher Campbell. Andrew Silver. Nicholas Van Dorick. Jacob Callan. Carlos Perdomo. David Berlinski. Brendan Mulvihill. Sean Cullen. Christian Noggle. Daniel Farrell. Richard Smith. Thomas Widley. William May. Curtis Schwerer. Abby Hughes. Luke Venskis. Charles White. Daniel Monkey. Christopher Barna. Nicholas DePersia. Amanda Basantis. Brandy Kelly. Marissa Siako. Cameron Sexauer. Joshua Pratt. Dante Massimino. Kirsten Hack. Marcel Brigulio. Marcel Brigulio. Douglas Evans. Sean Plunkett. Kylie Sell. Alexander Semler. Kevin Takis. Aaron Pepe. Scott Brody. Eric Weber. Jerome Mallorin. Bradley Ruga. Nick DiFrancesco. Sarah Conway. Taylor Groves. Kylie Applebaum. Gabrielle Wickizer. Vincenzo Ferriola. Zachariah Wenig. The candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering. Dr. Mariano Savelski, Department Head, please step forward to present your department.
Good morning. So, please, faculty of the Chemical Engineering Department, join me in honoring our graduates of the 2019 class of Chemical Engineers. Thank you.
Zach Weintraut. Trevor Stebbins. Christopher O'Connell. Nicholas Tawari. Justin Varvar. Dhruvan Patel. David DeBenedictis. Bruce Barrett. Austin Reynolds. Stephen Hussar. Tyler White. Mark Van Uland. Anthony Salemo. Crispin DeAugusta. Barry Satterfield. Sean Seek. Michael Finnerty. Sean Giddings. Matthew Knighton. Noah Huff. Summer Vandergrift. Craig Gauthier. Ian Dunn. Alexander Hesketh. William Gray. Julia Helen Riley. Claire Marie Breda. Elizabeth Coleman. Hannah Work. Jamie Schertz. Savannah Dottle. Amy Honig. Dominique Rousseau. Amanda Kristen. Bridget Black. Sabrina Ritweger. Alexis Lawless Gatone. Megan Schweiger. Justin Ryan. Caitlin Milne. Alexandra DeVito. Connor Davis. Jodael Petit Hom. Alex Dialoya. Sean Burnham. Robert Maticchio. Christopher Razi. The candidates for the Bachelor's in Biomedical Engineering. Dr. Mark Byrne, Department Head, please step forward to present your department.
Congratulations to the 2019 Biomedical Engineering graduating class. This is our second class. You've all worked hard. Now go out there and make a difference. We're proud of you.
Brandon Dior. Matthew Murtha. Andrew Tomasulo. Sarah Daly. Patrick Schornstadt. Cameron J. Burns. Joanna Marie Soyring. Angelica De Silva. Ethan Ellis. Rebecca Charbonneau. Travis Genetasio. Connor Kelly. Christine Kozachin. Andrew Kapetanakis. Thea Brown. Jonathan Zachuk. Richard Lynn. Luciano Donato Accardo. Erica DeVitt. Janki Cadela. Daniel Maldonado Herrera. Matthew Pincus. Mason Scott Weems. Christopher Goff. Nicholas Pisani. Kristen Bassett. Brennan Kovley. Sharuk Majid. Christopher Koama. Hannah Dietrich. Melissa Delia. Robert E. DePersia III. Nicholas Troyce. Alexandra DeStefano. Megan Breslin. Haley M. Chappelle. And last, but certainly not least, Veronica Lamastro. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to present you your 2019 Rowan College of Engineering graduates.
I need mine. Okay. Before we conclude today's ceremony, we wanted to take a brief moment for special recognition. Now, I have the honor of introducing to you the current chair of the college's Experiential Engineering Education Department, the current president of the American Society for Engineering Education, and the incoming interim dean of the Henry M. Rowan College of Engineering, Dr. Stephanie Farrell. Please join me in welcoming her to the podium.
Thank you, Steve. Before I start, I just want to take a moment to recognize the faculty of the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering. Thank you. Thanks, and congratulations again to the class of 2019. As you've heard, this is Dean Lohman's final commencement as our dean. Though we'll be sure to invite him back next year as provost. Congratulations, Tony. We wish him well in his new position, as we know he has big shoes to fill, succeeding another friend of the college and an exceptional provost, Jim Newell. I think I speak for the entire Henry M. Rowan College of Engineering community when I say that Dean Lohman's presence in Rowan and engineering halls will be sorely missed. Prior to joining us in January 2013, Dr. Lohman carved out an impressive career as a professor, university administrator, and entrepreneur. Throughout his career, he stated that he was an admirer of Rowan Engineering and the capabilities of our alumni, students, and faculty. So when the opportunity presented itself, he relished the chance to lead this college as the dean. His admiration was evident from the beginning and throughout the impressive growth under his leadership. During his tenure, we doubled our student population, doubled the number of full-time faculty, and brought online a comprehensive research mission which fostered our ability to offer distinctive and unique engineering educational opportunities. Despite that growth, Dr. Lohman maintained a commitment to what was at our core, our hands-on programs that seek to inspire students with a sense of entrepreneurialism and empower them with skills and competencies that are in demand and essential for professional and academic success. He ensured that students have opportunities to work directly with faculty and industry sponsors, made sure that our undergraduate students were able to take advantage of everything the college has to offer, and ensured that our graduate students had the resources they needed to innovate and conduct cutting-edge research. Importantly, he never wavered from building connections with students, whether that was sitting in a dunk tank at our annual engineering carnival or participating in annual basketball and softball games with students. He's been a tireless advocate for student success through promoting the success of student clubs and organizations, building connections with alumni groups, creating opportunities to showcase student work, and simply by making himself available for students to share their experiences and their obstacles. Under Dean Lohman's leadership, we have grown in size and expanded our mission, but perhaps most importantly, we're now able to empower more students with our signature Rowan Engineering experience than ever before. Our programs and our college owe Dean Lohman a debt of gratitude. Our college has been well served by his leadership, and I am grateful to have worked with him. Congratulations, Tony. We'll miss you, but we're excited to see what comes next for you and for Rowan University. Dr. Lohman, please join me at the podium.
So before I close commencement, then I might as well do something. Dr. Farrell, why don't you come up for a second? I guess it's appropriate time to turn over the Dean's Medallion. So. So I didn't want to make it about my last commencement here. I guess I'll be at commencement next year in a different role. But I want to tie into maybe my closing remarks to the students and without crying up here. Number one, it's truly been an honor to work with this group of faculty and administrators. So whether or not we've agreed on everything throughout our time here, I respect and admire what each and every one of you have done for this great group of students. So thank you very much. And for the students, the same thing holds. You're why I come here every day and do what I do. Maybe we don't agree, but every day I've come here and tried to make the experience that you get the best possible experience and put out the best possible graduates. So you're an outstanding group of students. It's the largest group of students, and it's by far the best group of students. And I know sitting here over the next couple of years in a different seat, I'm going to see many of you coming across this stage and representing us. And that leads me to say, as you leave here today, it's kind of funny. My first commencement as dean and my last commencement as dean, we had Sean T. as the university speaker. Did anyone come and hear him? I have the cutout, by the way, in the dean's office bridge if you want photos, so please come. But it's funny what experience does, and I listened to his message differently this time around. The first time around, he talked passion about how he got where he got, about passion and following his dreams, and that's where he got. And I did my first commencement speech, and I got up there and I said passion, 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 but I hadn't really gotten to know what this student group is like. And I truly mean it when I say it. Is when you leave here today, this is not the end, and I know it's a cliche, this is not the end. You're going to go through many iterations of your career, but I think this incredible group of faculty has given you all the tools you need to succeed. I walked out of my commencement, I'm not going to say how many years ago, but I walked out of my commencement, and I had lunch with my parents, and I said to my mom, I said, I think I want to be a professor. I think I want to be one of those people who gives out the diploma. And my mom said, well, maybe you should be the dean someday. Well, it looks where I got. I'm not sure that's what I set out to do. And my dad, I had a job, and my dad was the realist and said, no, you're not going back to school. You're going to get a job and work for a little while. And I went out and worked as an engineer, and I learned the profession. And then when I learned what it was, I learned to take the next step, and I wasn't afraid. Bridget talked about it today. Ronnie talked about it. Don't be afraid to follow your passion. We've given you great tools to succeed. So go out and light the world on fire. And then last, before we let go, I want to recognize Virginia Rowan Smith and her father, Henry Rowan, for giving me this opportunity to lead this college. We're just engineers out here today, right? No one from any other college, because I got to be cautious now. You guys will keep it quiet, right? This is the most special place on our campus. The College of Engineering, the Henry M. Rowan College of Engineering is special. It means something. And we're lucky to have students like you. We're lucky to have the faculty that we have. And we're lucky to have you now as alum. Anyway, so now to the scripted remarks. I want to thank everybody for attending today's ceremony, and this really is a heartfelt congratulations to all our graduates today. I know we're going to hear great things about each of you. We please would request that you stay in your seats until after the platform party is recessed. Our shuttles are located throughout around the area so that you can get them back to the parking lots. Golf carts are available for guests with special needs over in parking lot Y. And I would like to ask everyone to please rise for the alma mater and remain standing for the recessional.
O Rowan, we greet thee, all praise to thy name. Thy banner unfurled to the breeze. Thy children salute thee and praise to thy fame. The resounding voices reprise all about about thee arise, the first temples of God, lifting high leafy arms to the sky. And the flowers that bloom in the green of the sod seem to sing thee a sweet lullaby. Except after sea. Sit yourself down and take a seat. All you gotta do is repeat after me. ABC. 1, 2, 3. Do, re, mi. ABC. 1, 2, 3. ABC. 1, 2, 3. Do, re, mi. ABC. 1, 2, 3. That's all you gotta do. Show me that I love you. Let's go, baby. ABC. 1, 2, 3. ABC. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
All right. September. Oh, right there. Look at that. Shut your mouth right now. Relax.
We did that yesterday.
Here we go. 1, 2, 2, 3, oh.